the judgment of God, equality, and perfect discrimination. It goes without saying that the history of the world is overwhelmingly very dark, filled with injustice, oppression, war, and violence, and as well, catastrophes of nature such as famine, disease, natural disasters, and inevitable death. The world has little to offer in the way of long-term hope or joy. However, of all ills, the greatest cause of misery the world has known has come from the inhumanity of mankind. Those who gained recognition by achieving greatness through physical force are often remembered the most for their ruthless and destructive mannerisms. However, it should be realized that the infamous of times past who are remembered were often no more evil than the many among the multitudes of their subjects, who were at least as wicked, but being without power, were virtually unknown in their time, and then later forgotten to history altogether. Many of the forgotten are merely so because they had not the power to accomplish great deeds. Given the same power and opportunity, some likely could have excelled and become even more infamous than those who history remembers and rightly detests as the most evil monsters among men ever. In judgment, therefore, the question becomes, does God judge the man more harshly whose evil affected more people, or the lesser man who would have done even far greater evil had he been given the means and opportunity? Seeing then that the poor may be in heart just as evil, or even more so than his exalted evil brother, where is justice? Is the man who robs a convenience store for a few dollars less evil than the crooked financier who bilks investors out of multi-millions? Or is the biggest difference often in abilities and opportunities, rather than in wickedness of the heart? God be the judge. To begin with, we should consider, we are not all born equal. Some are born into wealth, but many more into poverty. We are born in different places of different races and nationalities, different genders with different physical attributes, abilities, or disabilities, with varying degrees of intellect, and so on. Also to be considered is the fact that people have been born in different ages over periods of hundreds or thousands of years apart. Take heed, therefore, not to judge too harshly those in whose time or place in history you were not born, for therein one will unwittingly condemn himself. It may seem unfair as to why things are so in the world, but there is a purpose, and all things will be revealed and resolved in due time. Until then, many determine to take matters into their own hands, especially those who believe there is no God. It is for those people Marxist ideologies often seem the most promising. However, none of the ideas set out in Marxism are new. They are merely putrid leftovers from the past, forgotten in the back of the fridge. Today they have been brought back out and reheated to serve to an ignorant society that has no taste for or knowledge of history. Indeed, for every attempt in the past to implement Marxist ideas of equality has only resulted in greater inequality. All such efforts have served only to wipe out those in the middle and create a larger gulf between the rich and the poor, with fewer at the top and many more in poverty at the bottom. For if by equality one means sameness, it is impossible to achieve. It is unavoidable that in any imagined egalitarian society, some individuals will always end up being, as Orwell put it, more equal than others. And you can bet that it will always be those who champion equality who will be the ones on the top rung of the ladder being more equal. There is a chorus of voices today demanding equality for minorities, equality for women, equality in wealth, equality for the overweight, for any and every lifestyle, orientation, or disorientation, and so on. Where is the end of it? The truth be told, all people should indeed be treated fairly and justly, but not necessarily equally. Why? Because not all people are equal. If all people were equal, there would be no reason to have applications or require a display of competence. All would be equally qualified or disqualified. Anyone could be your airplane pilot, surgeon, president, and so on, as if it is not already becoming that way. Wherefore, perfect discrimination is a good thing, and the greatest act of discrimination is done by God Himself when He divides the sheep from the goats and the holy from the unholy. No one had any say regarding their birth, but we are given a choice in regards to our rebirth. Jesus said, "Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God." And herein is equality, in that He died for all. For He has said, "He that comes to me, I will in no wise cast out."